This is Michael Kowalski, writer and performer of Mothman, True Story, and you are listening to the Unbelievers podcast. I know you wouldn't like it.
There were several groups. One of the principal ones was the reptilians from the Orion complex.
Without any exaggeration, it was like being on fire inside.
Rats were eating you up inside.
This stuff was in my mouth. It felt like it was 500 degrees. It was unbelievably hot.
My first question would be, were you a member of the Church of Satan, a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan? I don't understand.
There's always an argument for everything. You know, just because somebody can fake something doesn't necessarily mean it's
World War, and we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants.
So for the person who called, I am carrying an alien.
An alien baby, we covered right here, okay?
Okay.
Something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
The world of cryptozoology has an abundance of mysterious creatures that are described as half human, half something else. We all know the lizard man, the dog man, and the pig man, but did you know that the town of Loveland has its own man? An animal-amphibian hybrid? Tonight, the Unbelievers podcast returns to the wilds of Ohio for another beast from the Buckeye State. And we're not talking Grassman. What is this thing that spooked Loveland residents in the 1950s? How is this cryptid not more popular? Why is it attracted to Pokemon Go? So join us now for a modern monster history chock full of conflicting details, name confusion, and commentary from an actual wild man. It's time for the Loveland Frogman. Right here in the program, we continue to learn to unlearn everything you know. Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers podcast. I'm your host, Russ Ryan, and joining me as always is my co-host, Drea Mora. Hello, Drea.
Hello, Russ.
And our soundboard engineer and producer, Rob Oakey.
Boy, his ass stuck out. I seen his ass.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Great.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Man, we just realized this episode is coming out October 1st, so it's officially Spooktober. Spook season.
Spooky.
Finally. I feel like it has been because people started jumping the gun at like the end of August. And normally I get upset when people do that shit with Christmas, but I don't mind when it's Halloween.
People are ready for it.
I'm ready for it. I want to see
ready.
one of those. I want to see one of those 12-foot skeletons everyone's raving about in New Orleans. I haven't seen
a real
one in
thing?
person yet.
I thought those were just like mythical things, 12-foot skeletons. That's real.
Mythical. Well, they're probably
they're
like
there.
not real skeletons, Rob.
It's Nephilim, isn't it? Isn't that what those are? Those are Nephilim skeletons, I'm pretty sure.
Sure,
Okay, yeah. I mean, that
giant
makes
or
sense.
something.
It's still spooky.
Yeah, it is actually.
I think it's good. I do want to see them too. That's good.
Well, one thing that isn't mythical is tonight's topic. So let's just get into it now. The Loveland Frogman.
Oh, it's a Loveland frog. It's a frog that lives in Ohio. Oh, the Loveland frog. People see the Loveland frog hopping around. It's not a normal frog. It is a big old frog. It's a half-human frog. There's more than one of them. There's a bunch of Loveland frogs.
All right, no spoilers. Paranormal Song Warrior. Thank you.
He
Tonight,
has so much to say about them.
I was like getting sucked into it. I was like, I gotta hear the story here. What's happening with this frog, man?
He would tell us everything.
He's jumping the gun. But tonight we're going to be discussing another less talked about cryptid from Ohio. It's not the Grassman, Rob. This is a creature known as the Loveland Frogman. Rob, you a fan of frogs?
I guess so. When I was a kid,
you like any famous ones?
Famous frogs? Like Kermit. Love Kermit.
Sure.
Who else? I like the Michigan J Frog. I was a big fan of him.
Yeah,
Hello, my baby. Yeah, that guy.
Oh.
Who else is there that are popular frogs out there? Oh, Pepe. I like Pepe. He's well. I mean, I like the old Pepe. I like the OG.
What he
Pepe.
used to stand for.
I don't like what he's turned into. He's really changed over the years.
He's poor guy. He's really gone off the rails. That guy.
I don't think I'm asking any more questions about frogs. Here's a description of this frogman from the Cryptid Wiki, a fine source for frogman information. The Loveland Frogman are bipedal frogs, as made evident due to their leathery skin as well as their webbed hands and feet. The creatures have frog-like heads with wrinkly skin on top of them. They are around 1 meter tall. And unlike these Bigfoot or Thunderbirds, there are no indigenous folklore surrounding these frogmen at all. Like this whole thing, this Loveland Frogman, it's an entirely modern cryptid legend. Check the records.
Okay.
Okay.
That's actually kind of cool and unique about him, I think.
There's no... Wait, what was the word that you used?
Indigenous
the folklore.
Indigenous. Yeah, there was nothing.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Maybe he's like been mutated by the chemicals and high fructose corn syrup.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe he like evolved more recently because of us or something.
Yeah, like some chemical spill, like Alex Mack.
The ooze.
Yeah, that too. There you go, the ooze.
Ohio was not an ancient frogman civilization. It may be one day, hopefully, not now. But this story starts in May of 1955 when an unnamed businessman was traveling down a road near the Miami River outside of Loveland at around 3:30 at night. And according to this so-called cryptid wiki, this unknown man claimed to witness, quote, 3 bipedal quasi-reptilian entities congregating by the side of the road. The man pulled his car to the curb and observed these creatures for what he estimated to be about 3 minutes. Seems like a long time for a sighting.
That is.
Really?
During this time, he noticed that these strange beings stood between 3 and 4 feet tall, were covered with leathery skin, and had webbed hands and feet. Their most distinguishing characteristic, however, was their distinctly frog-like heads, with the man claimed bore deep wrinkles where their hair should have been.
Ew.
3 frogmen congregating. It's terrifying, yes?
Yeah, he watched them for 3 minutes, and the best word he could describe this with was congregating. They were like sitting and talking, gambling,
like playing poker. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because that's a long time, even
dice.
for a drug deal. Yeah, 3 minutes.
Really gross sounding, though. Like, if you picture that, what does that look like?
What part disturbs you the most about it, Rob?
It's just like I'm picturing like 3 bald naked guys huddled together on the side of the road, kind of.
Yeah, they said that they have leathery skin, but like, does it say what color? Or is it just like human flesh color in general?
And they're like squatting down,
frog colored.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're green.
It's weird.
But it gets even stranger, though. Just as the man was about to steal away, one of the creatures suddenly held what the witness could only describe as a wand above its head.
What? Oh my God.
The anonymous source further claimed that sparks spewed out of the end of this device. He left post-haste.
This is getting weird.
What? What?
One of the frogmen is whipping around with a wand that is sparkling electricity out of it. I've seen it described maybe as a chain.
What? A chain? That's a big difference, a wand and a chain.
So this frogman, he might be in the Psionic Brotherhood. This could be Uncle Chucky. He almost fits that description, Rob. He's a shorter guy.
He could be a frogman. That's an interesting theory. I like that.
Maybe this is something that happens to you when you use the wand too much. It turns you into this creepy looking thing.
It's like a Gollum kind of situation.
Yeah,
like one wand to ruin them all, and they got to live in Ohio.
Yeah.
What do you think he did with that wand when the sparks came out of it? What do you think was happening there?
He said he left post-haste.
Oh, they just disappeared, or did they just leave after that?
He left.
He left. So he didn't stick around to see what was going on.
He didn't want to find out what was going to happen. What if something had to happen to him? Like, what if he got blasted by some frog magic from that wand?
You don't hang around to find out.
You don't want to, no. Yeah.
Is that an attack, or do you think that's just how they get around? Is like they just zap their wand and then they leave?
I think probably they were congregating and they said in their frog language, I think we're not alone. So let me just send out a blast of frog magic to get rid of anybody.
A warning shot, pretty much.
Yeah, probably. That's what I would think.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah. And so while this is the first and possibly most important frogman sighting, it does not get a lot of attention, especially in the basic cable and streaming service paranormal shows and documentaries. There's no Monsters and Mysteries in America.
Really?
There's no Monster Quest.
Surprising.
Even Mountain Monsters with Huckleberry and the gang. None of the shows with monsters in the name want to talk about Frogman.
What?
It's kind of a bummer.
That is. You did say it just kind of came about like recently. Maybe that's why. Maybe they don't have enough folklore to go off of.
It's 1955. I think Mothman's more recent than that.
Really?
Frogman's an OG, sure.
Okay. Well, then then they're slacking. Either they're slacking or they know something that we don't. And they're actually people. Then you can't go around hunting people.
It feels like a cover-up, potentially. Like, they don't want us to know about the Frogman.
I think so. But I did find one show that had what it takes to tackle a subject like Frogman. It doesn't have monster in the name. This is a Travel Channel show titled Mysteries at the Museum, hosted by a man named Don Wildman.
Yeah.
And this is the show that features museum artifacts of unusual or mysterious origins. And last week we learned you guys had never seen sightings.
Yeah.
We're younger, though. We don't.
This is a much more modern show. Drea, have you ever heard of Mysteries at the Museum?
I want to say that I've seen it in the TV guide while scrolling, but I've never watched it. No.
Rob?
Yes, I've watched this show. It's followed. It's right after Ghost Adventures, I'm pretty sure.
I think I would remember the name Wildman if I had seen him.
Yeah, Wildman. I think this guy is kind of like the paranormal Fox Mulder guy, right? This is a good looking dude, I'm pretty sure.
See, I'm going to say it this time. I'm going to take the bull. I have never seen this show before, I don't think. Mysteries at the Museum debuted in 2010 and is now up to its 24th season.
Goddamn. Where have I been?
24 seasons of this show have been produced. That's 278 episodes of Don Wildman.
It's a big-ass museum.
Name.
In 2017 alone, they released seasons 13 through 17. They cranked out 5 seasons of this show in a year.
That's insane.
Whoa. So, yeah, you're right. He is hot.
I had a feeling you were going to like this guy, Drea. I had a feeling you were going to be like,
next tournament of hotties?
Don Wildman,
on the radar.
What up?
But when you are cranking out this volume of mysterious TV, you probably have time for the Loveland Frogman. Now let's enter the Wildman zone as they tell and recreate the sighting of Frogman from that unnamed businessman.
The legend begins on the evening of May 25th, 1955, in Loveland, Ohio. Businessman Jerome Clark is driving on a dark and desolate stretch of road that runs next to the Little Miami River.
Wait, what? I thought he was unnamed. He's Jerome Clark?
Jerome is not this man's real name.
Roy is not this man's real name.
Is this Wildman doxing people, or is Cryptid Wiki up to something?
I think Cryptid Wiki's just lacking their info shit. Like, they need to get their shit together. They just couldn't find his name, so they just said, oh, he must be unnamed.
I don't get it, because from another source, I found that same businessman was named Robert Honeycutt.
What?
And it was definitely the exact same story. It just had a slightly different description of the
Dude,
Frogman
okay, that
line.
second name sounds fake as hell.
So there's multiple aliases for this guy. He's got many names. A man of many
maybe
names.
His name is Roy.
Roy is not this man's real name.
And I don't really know if his Jerome Clark is it either. The story I found about that guy Robert Honeycutt, his story is a little different. It says one of the creatures held a dark chain or stick, giving off blush white sparks between his raised arms. When Honeycutt got out of his car, one of the men moved as if signaling him to say where he was. So Honeycutt just watched for about 3 minutes. The next thing he knew, he was driving towards the Loveland police station, making it feel he must have lost consciousness. In an interesting anticipation of the missing time element of so many abduction reports. So this is the same sighting, the same 3 frogmen, but when it's told like this person kind of interprets it. It almost sounds more alien than cryptid in that.
Yeah, it does. I have to wonder if these weren't actually 2 separate accounts, and they were just, because they're so similar, maybe that...
The dates are exactly the same. It's the 3 ones. It's so many names, though. But let's get back...
They could have both seen them.
It could have been multiple events on the same night, I think.
Okay, who do you trust? Some old weird alien blog where Honeycutt comes from. Do you
Honeycutt?
Trust...
Who's named Honeycutt? How many people named Honeycutt have you met in your life with their last name Honeycutt?
Do you trust Cryptid Wiki that the guy doesn't have a name, or do you trust our boy Don Wildman? And let's get back to it now for the businessman named Jerome Clark.
Suddenly, something flashes in his headlights, and he slams on the brakes. Peering through the windshield, he sees a strange creature standing in the middle of the pavement. The beast has a huge, frog-like face.
It was 60 pounds, about 4 feet tall, with scaly skin. It appeared to be half man and half reptile.
Yeah, we got another half something or other. Just hit it now. Hit number 1.
Appeared to be half man and half reptile.
Half man, half reptile.
She needs to clear her throat.
I think she just saw me when I was 16 years old. I'm pretty sure from what she described. It sounded like just me, like young acne kid. Just
that's why you like reptiles. So
pudgy
much.
Little 70-pounder.
Whatever she's describing,
leathery
though,
skin.
In this story, and even in the recreation, there's just 1 frog. So hold on, what happened to the 3 frogmen? That story, it's changed a little bit now. The names have changed. Now the number of frogmen's change, but I'm sure the rest of the story will be exactly as we heard before.
Appeared to be half man and half reptile.
And it's staring right at him. Then it jerks its arms into the air. Clark is terrified. He hits the gas and speeds away.
Okay, he raised his hands and what? Well, I mean, maybe he was holding something. I don't know, a wand, a stick
Might
with
have
two
been a
walnuts.
chain.
That's it. He just drives away. And the most interesting part of this whole story is that you have a frogman with a wand.
Yeah, they left that huge vital piece of information out, the wand. It just sounds like in this, he just throws his hands up like the cops are like
we just
put
raise
him
them
up.
Go.
Yeah.
Like the Tuscan Raiders.
Clark.
No, I'd be scared if they, because you don't know what's going to happen. And that's a very threatening gesture to make. Throwing your arms up at somebody.
I think my whole thing is maybe this isn't why the Frogman doesn't get a lot of coverage, because the story is so mixed up. Somebody's got a wand, there's three, there's none. No one knows this guy's name. They're making up names now. Honeycutt, Rob doesn't believe it.
I don't believe
those
that.
are such wildly different names. That's what's so weird about it.
Yeah,
I really don't know what to think right now.
It sounds like the guy was trying to think of a name and just was looking around the room and there was some honey.
He's
and he
like,
was like,
and a pair of
some
scissors.
And he was like,
Yeah.
Honeycutt. Exactly. That was his name, Mr. Honeycutt. You're like, all right.
I think I know how you guys feel about this first legendary sighting, but this wasn't the only sighting in Loveland, Ohio. Frogman would return.
Just a few months later, a woman named Mrs. Darwin Johnson is taking a swim in the Ohio River. As the story goes, she suddenly feels something grab her knee and try to pull her under the water.
This was straight out of a horror movie.
Mrs. Johnson kicks frantically at her attacker. Eventually, she breaks free. She swims to shore as fast as she can. And when she's safely on the riverbank, Mrs. Johnson looks down at her leg. Imprinted on her skin is a blotchy bruise, shaped just like the palm of a scaly, webbed hand.
All that was left behind were marks from the creature.
Yeah, Darwin Johnson. This time the Frogman is actually in the water.
That's scarier.
Like, I got a little frog going there.
They're probably not allowed to use the wands in the water, though. They'll electrocute themselves.
That's true.
They could. What could grab you by the knee, though, Rob, if you were being rational about this? What could this have been that would leave a webbed print on her leg?
It's either way, no matter who it is, it's still an aggressive move to grab anybody's knee at any point in time, I think. But especially right now, this sounds like this could have been a catfish, maybe, or maybe possibly some sort of large fish grabbed a hold of her. Or where are we again? We're in Ohio.
Ohio. So, Loveland, Ohio.
I don't think they have like gators or anything like that there. Maybe they do. I doubt it, but I don't know. Yeah, sounds like a fish maybe grabbed her leg.
Or a frogman.
Or a frogman. I mean, you said if rationally. I don't know. That's a little irrational, frogman. But I do believe in him, though. I think he could possibly be real from what I'm hearing.
Well, those are the two frogman sightings from 1955. He would return again to multiple sightings. And here, quote, at about 1 a.m. on March 3rd, 1972, nearly 17 years after the first report, a police officer, who understandably chose to remain anonymous, was traveling along Riverside Road heading towards Loveland when he saw something that would forever change his life. The officer claimed that he was driving slowly due to the substantial amount of ice on the road when he saw what looked like a dog by the curb.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hear what happens next to this unknown police officer who will not identify himself from Don Wildman.
But perhaps the most compelling account comes from a police officer named Ray Shockey.
Officer Shockey was an honest, trustworthy guy. People in Loveland liked him, and he was well known.
Wait, so he's not anonymous either. He's actually very well known.
Way to freaking out him. Yeah.
I think I'm out in Cryptid Wiki more than anything. It's like, guy, everyone knew this guy. He was a friend. He loved this story. Ray Shockey is his name. Yes, and he's a police officer now having another encounter with this thing 17 years later.
Jeez. And in the same spot, like on the same, was that, we don't know the
same
street
area.
names from the
Well,
other
you
one.
haven't heard the story yet. So he finds what he thinks
What's it,
is
Riverside? Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks this is a dog by the curve. So now for Ray Shockey and his encounter with what he thinks might be a wounded dog.
Officer Shockey is on a routine patrol of the area.
Officer Shockey was driving. He came around the corner and he saw something in the middle of the road.
At first, the officer thinks it's a stray dog. So he stops the car to see if he can help the poor animal. But as he approaches, he realizes it's not a dog at all.
What he saw was unlike any other creature he'd seen before.
It's about 4 feet tall with scaly skin and a frog-like face. But before the officer can pull his gun or make a move, the monster leaps away out of sight.
Officer Shockey looked to see where the creature had gone, but all he saw were scratch marks along the side of the road.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. You go imagine pulling over to help a dog on the side of the road and Frogman starts hopping all around.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if the dog was put there as bait.
No, the dog was Frog. The dog
was Frog.
Dog was Frog.
Oh, I got a little confused there by that.
He was like a coiled Frogman. Like he looked like a dog, kind of crumpled up, but he was just coiled up.
Okay, so at least he wasn't trying to trick him by looking like a dog. He just was dog frog looking.
He's probably not trying not to be noticed. He probably never noticed until these people saw
You
him.
heard the lady before. It's
appeared to be half man and half reptile.
But also half
And
dog
half
now
dog.
also.
Half
And also-
ugly looking.
Half human, half like fucking ugly motherfuckers.
It should be amphibious, I believe, not even reptile. So I don't know whether with Frogman lies.
You know what? You're right. We have to
maybe
keep
she
this as
saw Lizard Man.
accurate.
That sounds more like Lizard Man.
That's the whole thing. Well, the thing does not have a tail. And that's what makes him different from Lizard Man.
And it swims in the water.
Frogman. And he swims and he's got webbed
Grabbing
hands.
people's knees.
Who would
grabbing
win in a
people.
fight between these two, between Lizard Man
Frogman,
and
because he can hold
Frogman?
his breath underwater and drown Lizard Man. Done.
Okay, that was
Oh,
quick.
that's pretty definitive. I was going to say because he has a wand. I don't think...
And that closes the 2020 Tournament of Monsters.
It was a quick one.
Yeah, I had my money on Frogman.
And we've heard this sounds pretty straightforward, but I've seen conflicting stories on this one too. In another version, his name is Officer Mark Matthews, and that this
sounds
sighting
fake.
had occurred actually a few months after another Frogman sighting by another policeman. And in the version I've heard where this guy's named Mark Matthews, he shoots at the Frogman when it hops up and scares him, but pretty much the rest was the same. It does shoot.
Oh,
And-
okay.
Oh, wait. So he actually does shoot? So that kind of is similar to the classic... Just start shooting. Start screaming and shooting randomly.
Yeah. I mean, the shock of it turning into Frogman and hopping around, that'd be enough.
Yeah, because you're saying that this is clearly not anything you've seen before, and you don't know like what's going to happen to you. I wonder what happened to if he actually like hit him with any of those bullets, and if it like bounced off.
He's got like
so
super
hard.
healing. He's a Frogman. He can probably heal like a predator or something.
Right, the wand.
Oh, yeah, right. They can grow
There
back
might be an
limbs.
alien. Yeah, we still don't know that. They don't even consider that. They've completely removed the wand from this. But I'm not really sure what to believe from Mysteries at the Museum. But now that Don Wildman, he's all caught up in these Frogman stories, he says this.
The town of Loveland, Ohio, is home to a bizarre half-human, half-amphibian creature. Its name, the Frogman. So, is there any truth behind this web-footed fiend?
Many wonder if it's simply a giant lizard. Some species can grow to be around 4 feet in length. But there are problems with this suggestion. The monster was missing one very common reptilian feature.
That didn't have a tail.
What's more, the police officer reported seeing it moving with great speed on a cold winter night. And reptiles grow sluggish when temperatures drop. So perhaps it's a descendant of giant frogs that once preyed on dinosaurs.
Big lizard? No, it's a dinosaur hunting frog descendant. I like that one.
Badass.
Yeah, what if they just didn't see the tail because it snapped off like lizard tails do sometimes?
What,
That's
when it
true.
froze and now it's immune? I don't know. I'm happy. Play soundboard too, because I'm happy to have the Wildman on here.
Web-footed fiend.
I like his flair.
He's
Yeah,
great.
he handled
I
it
like
in a
his
great way.
moxie.
Yeah, he is good. And I wanted to save this for now. Do you guys want to know what any of this has to do with Mysteries at the Museum? I'm sure you've noticed the glaring lack of anything that sounds museum-worthy going on in any of this. you know?
Yeah, that does sound like it's like they're grasping if this doesn't have to do with the museum.
I was kind of wondering how they were going to tie this
Well,
back
let's
to the
dive
museum.
in, because the stories on this show all have to spawn from a museum. It could be any museum. It is the only way that Don Wildman can harness the power of storytelling. Here is the very beginning of that Frogman segment.
In the town of Loveland, Ohio, is an enormous structure that seems strangely out of place. A medieval-style castle. Those in search of even stranger stories can head to the nearby Loveland Museum Center. Tucked among the displays of items from the 18th and 19th centuries is an oddly modern exhibit.
The artifact is in two parts. One is made out of a green synthetic material. The other is made with a multicolored ribbon and a round pendant at the end. Each has a strange figure on it. It's green, it has two bulging eyes, and it's holding a paddle.
Okay, so what could that be? It's not the castle, which is very interesting. What is she describing there, Drea? It says got two parts, green, synthetic. There's a ribbon and pendant, a paddle. What's going on here, guys?
It sounds like a second or third grade craft project to me. I'm not even trying to be snarky. Like, that's literally, I'm picturing that.
This is what is representing the Frogman in the Loveland County Museum. Okay, what about you, Rob?
I don't know. It sounds like some sort of a Muppet or something along those lines. Just the color scheme and the random items. I think it sounds like a character from the Muppets, possibly.
We got one for child art, one for Muppet. Let's find out what these artifacts really are.
This running shirt and race medal are linked to a tale of terror that seems ripped from the pages of science fiction.
This is the story of a creepy creature that caused a splash in an Ohio town.
Oh, it was a race t-shirt and a medallion.
What?
Did the Frogman murder a runner? Because he is very fast.
Weird.
I love that. I love that this qualifies as worthy of a mystery at the museum because there is a race, a Frogman, Loveland Frogman race that is done, and that's what's in their museum. Boom, Don Wildman's on it.
You race against the frogs.
What?
Or the frogs race each other. That's so dumb.
That's how they tied it in. Wait, this wasn't
Why is that in a museum?
This wasn't like leftovers from like an attack, a Frogman attack, and then this is all that's left of the
guy. It's not even that
what's
cool,
in the
Rob.
museum. I did a little Pulp Fiction there, but now we're going to jump back to the end where Don Wildman is still talking about dinosaur frogs right before his big wrap up.
But the closest relatives to those huge amphibians only live in South America. While the Frogman has never been seen again, many believe it's still out there. And residents have found a unique way to honor it.
They still talk about the Frogman in Loveland today. They even have a race named after him.
And today, this commemorative medal and shirt from the race itself are on display at the Loveland Museum Center in Loveland, Ohio. It's a lasting reminder of a strange beast that lives forever in the heart of a small town.
They couldn't commission a little statue or anything. I mean, I sent out trophies that look better than like a medallion and a t-shirt. Speaking of medallion, shout out Mike Dean. But yeah, come on, they can do a little better, right?
Yeah, that's pretty weak, dude. I'm like sitting over here trying not to laugh because somebody must have tried hard on the design for that t-shirt and they organized this race, but like that's what you've got in the museum? Is that?
Well, it's people, you can get all those shows there. You put a couple of Frogman statues up. That's all you really need to do. The rest will happen around itself. You can
commission Steve Feltham.
You can get someone to buy you a bench somewhere, and boom, you're on the map.
We'll make you a fucking bench.
It shows you how different areas are. Where like an area like Evergreen, when they embrace Bigfoot, they give him a full statue. This place, not so much.
Here's a race, a 5K t-shirt.
Yeah, they give him a race. They maybe
that race. Let's talk about that race because that race is 5 miles of canoe/kayak, 8 miles on bike, and 5K on foot. You guys could go try that out, right? You could get a t-shirt, maybe a medallion.
So.
I might die. I might die. I would need to train for that frog race.
Wait, hold on. Could I do the boat? You guys do the bike, and
is everybody dressed like frog people during this?
No, they're just like runners. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what a frogman is.
I don't want to go to that then. I'm dressing like a frog if I'm going to this thing.
Do it.
I'm frogmaning it out. You're going to see me hopping all the way. This whole thing.
Triathlon. Yeah, you get okay. I'm excited to see it. Sure, I'll somebody film you on a
full frog
Segway,
full frog suit. And I'm talking real frog suit.
You should just be on the sidelines handing out the waters to the runners who come by.
Oh yeah, that's actually more my pace. Actually,
just grabbing women in the water like
still in a frog suit. Always in a frog suit.
What did you guys think about Mysteries at the Museum?
I mean, I like this show, and then when I googled Mr. Wildman, I saw that the other two shows that I do watch that he's on, those ones I'm familiar with, the Beyond the Unknown and Mysteries at the Monument, which I got confused with. So this one's
that's like the Unbelievers of the Unbelievable podcast of his own show.
Yeah.
This guy must be filmed 24/7. He pumps out so many shows.
Well, he deserves
amazing.
it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's killing it.
I like it.
The end of that, though, Mysteries in the Museum, it made it sound like the Frogman was never seen again, but that's not true at all, though. It made big news in 2016, and here's the headline from Fox 19 in Cincy. The Frogman meets Pokemon Go.
Oh, jeez.
In August of 2016, a local man sent us a video that, according to him, shows the elusive creature once and for all. Sam Jacobs says he and his girlfriend were playing Pokemon Go between Loveland, Marietta Road, and Lake Isabella when they spotted the purported Frogman. Jacobs says, "We saw a huge frog near the water. Not in the game Pokemon Go. This was an actual giant frog. I took a couple of pictures and a video because I'd never seen one that big. Then the thing stood up and walked on its hind legs." And Jacob went on to say he realized that some people think he's crazy. "I swear on my grandmother's grave that this is the truth," Jacob said. "I'm not sure whether it was a frogman or just a giant frog. Either way, I've never seen anything like it." And he started to pick up some heat, this Frogman, you know? What do you think?
I don't think he's crazy, because you know the difference between seeing a really big frog and then one that's gigantic and goes on its hind legs. That you don't see.
I was going to say, Dre, I think it could be easy to mistake a big frog. Frogs are a weird animal because their body structure, like when you hold them up, they kind of have like a human-esque body
he had to
structure,
be held up,
sort
though.
of. Or like when
did he see somebody holding him up behind him?
Or if it was like maybe mid-jump, if it jumped, and
there's video of this. This guy was out there Pokemon going. Is him and Squirtle out there?
Pokemon went there.
There is a video of this.
It was not a Pokemon. This was not Squirtle or whatever.
It's very bad. The video is pretty terrible. It doesn't really look. That's why no one's probably heard of this. But he swears on his grandmother's grave it's the truth. But this Frogman, did you guys also know that there is, other than a race and a museum relic, that this Frogman has its own musical?
What? No.
Yes.
Of course.
Hot Damn, it's the Loveland Frog, a bluegrass musical. And here's the suggestion. Hot Damn, it's the Loveland Frog is what it's called. And here's the description. Something is lurking in Loveland, the sweetheart of Ohio, where the disappearance of a strange old man has rekindled the hysteria surrounding America's most alluring cryptozoological phenomenon, the Loveland Frog. Join Luke Honeywell and a smoking bluegrass band on a riotous river adventure with maniacal moonshiners, crooked cops, and the last Twainee Indian as they rescue Peepaw from the wondrous and elusive Loveland Frog. That sounds exciting.
Yes. Maniacal moonshiners, I'm in.
His name is Luke Honeywell. Another honey reference? Is there like some honey?
Maybe it's an Ohio thing. So,
everybody's named Honey in Ohio.
Do you guys want to hear a little sample of one of the hot numbers in this musical?
Russ, you know we do.
Yeah. All right, let's hear the next clip.
The Loveland Frog.
No.
Round the town. It is such a big, big frog. It's not fully a frog. It's half human. You see.
All right, Hot Damn.
I don't think that was part of the musical.
I'm sorry. You have to score. That's the more paranormal song warrior. You guys got your gift there. You want to hear more? I couldn't find any of the musical itself. It actually might be lost to the ages, like that John Teeter musical where they trip the blue light fantastic.
Yeah, that's it's a shame. Those are things that if we find, we should get an award for. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen some pictures of it, and there's a lot of shadow puppets and banjos.
Okay. That sounds fun. I'm down.
And I may not have been able to find anything about this musical, but I did find a really great short film titled Legend of the Loveland Frogman, and here's the description. The Loveland Frogman, a legend, is explained and the truth revealed when 5 teens accidentally stumble across a shocking secret. And we all watched this, correct, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
We did.
This is a 30 minutes, it's a short film, and this film starts with these 5 teens paddling canoes down the river. They're splashing each other. They're having a good old time. Reminding me of some of those found footage things we watched.
A little bit.
Until night falls and things start to get spooky.
Are we gonna have to paddle in the dark? That would be awesome.
That would not be awesome, Ron. That would be terrifying. What if something eats us?
Nothing's going to eat us, Lorraine. There's nothing big enough here to eat us.
That sounded pretty big to eat us.
That did sound pretty big.
To eat us.
I'm just saying. Sounded kind of big. That's all I'm saying.
That was probably like a turtle. Are turtles that big, Alice?
Yeah, snapping
turtles.
That helps.
Snapping turtles? What? Sea turtles. That's what I meant. Sea turtles. It could have been a loggerhead in southwestern Ohio.
Okay, I'm not sure if you can tell from the audio. This short film was made by these kids. And I want to say, as someone who watches a lot of bad paranormal related TV shows and documentaries and a lot of YouTube videos of local people recreating events of the paranormal, this one wasn't that bad. I like this.
Oh my God.
It was not the worst thing that I've seen.
Definitely not.
So generous. So generous.
I mean,
That's
like,
a
well,
very
look,
generous
especially
review.
because these kids, this is made by kids.
This is a school project.
Let's hear more. Let's hear more about the story, because it was definitely a school project. And hey, guess what? We were talking about it on a podcast.
They did great.
But
they got an A plus from us.
So let's get back in. I want to tell the story of this. So these teens, now they're in this river and they must paddle back in the dark. And one of the teens makes an ominous observation.
Have you noticed that there's no bugs on this section of the river? It's great!
Maybe it's too windy for them. You guys, maybe we should just start heading back.
Oh yeah, pee your pants, Ronnie.
Shut up, Jeremy. I'm fine. I just think maybe we should get off the river and look for help.
Why are you afraid something's gonna jump out of the river and get you? Well, you never know, Ron. I mean, there was that one movie that came out last year, remember? Oh yeah, the one with those kids, and they get killed one by one by that dude with the chainsaw.
Stop it!
But Lorraine, they were on a canoeing trip just like us.
Okay. I like in the beginning that whoever wrote this, whichever one of them, I like the idea that one section of the river is completely insect free, and you're supposed to believe that's due to the Frogman, that he can eat every bug in this area. That Frogmen are so efficient. There's sections of rivers that are just bug free. Man, I want to go there
because the river water doesn't move.
I don't know. Maybe it's too windy around here. And knowing this is a Frogman thing, I love that little bit. But play soundboard 3, because we can never pass on a good pee your pants clip.
Oh yeah, pee your pants, Ronnie.
Shut up, Jeremy.
Oh, you don't pee your pants, Ronnie.
Shut up, Jeremy.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think we're up to about 12 of those now. So we're getting to know these guys. The gang continues to get spooked while they're night paddling until they come across a bonfire ahead of them. So they park those canoes and they approach the site, and they come across a strange person.
Who are you? What the hell do you kids think you're doing here? This is private property. I could have you all arrested for trespassing. Get out. Get out now.
Sir, please, we didn't...
Be quiet, young man.
We were on the river. It started to get dark. We have no idea where we are.
I will call the police.
What were those?
Eh?
You didn't see it? There was something with you. There was some sort of animal.
I was alone.
No, you weren't. I saw something. It almost looked like frogs.
I'm warning you, young lady.
Please, sir, we just want some help.
I want you back on the river right now.
Hey, wait, there's the castle.
Castle?
What?
We have a castle?
Yeah, it's the Loveland Castle. It was built by this guy all his life, and then one day he just disappeared.
Yeah, the Loveland Castle. I think that castle might be way more famous than Frogman, because he mentioned it in the museum show, remember? He's like, this medieval castle built by one man.
It's very strange.
I mean, I will say that as much as I had heard a little bit about the Loveland Frogmen before, like a few years back, never really heard about a castle, though, so...
I would say come for the castle at this point and stay for the Frogman.
I wonder if the castle is also haunted, because usually castles are haunted, right? That's
haunted by frogs.
It's a castle thing. Usually,
it's definitely
frogmen.
a famous site. A little spoilers. They might do some filming at this.
What?
So one of the girls is actually convinced that she saw some kind of frog creature, as you heard there, and that old guy's performance. Real good stuff. He's not.
Oh,
he's
fantastic!
Actually, the teens are better than the older guy in it. It's so
they
great.
really
seem,
are.
They seem a lot more natural because you can tell they are already friends.
He's pretty creepy looking though. The guy. He's like a dollar menu Clancy Brown. The way that he looks, a little bit.
And
yeah, I was gonna say
sounds he makes.
I was gonna say he's like a Brian Posehn. Very close.
Oh yeah, there you go.
A lot like him. But this old man, he scares them off. But the one girl, Alice, is convinced she saw a strange creature, which they talk about the next day at school.
I swear I saw something there. Why don't you guys believe me? It was this giant frog thing, except it was human too. It was like a mix-up of both of them.
See, I told you guys there was something in that river. Yeah.
Lorraine, that's absurd. Alice, you know I usually listen to your opinion, but on this one, there is no way there was this half-human, half-frog thing living in the river.
Wait. Half human, half frog?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right?
No, Jeremy, it's the Frogman.
Frogman?
What?
The Loveland Frogman. Oh, come on, in here, I'll show you.
I've never heard of Frogman.
There's all kinds of stuff on the internet about it. Like, right here on this website about American monsters. It says, in May of 1955, there was a strange occurrence on a lonely stretch of road that runs along the Little Miami River in Claremont County, just on the outskirts of a small town known as Loveland, Ohio.
Yeah, he's on Cryptid Wiki. Not only did they tell the story that we discussed before, but in this short film, they reenact it. And their reenactment was better than the one from the museum show. They had like a 50-something Studebaker. It looked like the 50s. It was rock and roll playing. These kids, if this was a teenage film, they put a lot of work into it. And that part was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they probably had a little bit of help from, like, as far as equipment goes, but you can tell that they put a lot of effort into making this. It's a multi-part thing. The script is not the worst as far as it could have been a lot worse.
No.
When is it from, by the way? When was it made?
This is from 2010, which makes it even more impressive to me.
Okay. So, I mean, that explains some of the harshness of my criticism. But, yeah, there's one scene when they have...
Okay, we'll get to it.
Okay.
So, here is the teen's reaction to hearing about this Frogman on the internet.
What do you have to say about that?
That this is the biggest joke ever. I mean, come on. Frogmen?
It's on the internet, so it must be true. 3 people saw him. 4.
Okay, I just wanted that soundboard clip, I think, for some reason. Play soundboard 5, because...
It's on the internet, so it must be true.
Yeah.
That just feels like right up our alley. That might come in handy.
Yeah, they put that in there totally on purpose, a little tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, very aware. I was
true.
like, she's being very aware doing this, that they're, kind of falling for something. She is pretty much the protagonist of this, Alice. And Alice convinces the rest of the gang that the Loveland Castle is a good place to look for evidence of the Frogman. So they go to the Loveland Castle, the coolest place in their whole town, and they go take a tour during the day. And here they are asking some pointed questions to the tour guide.
This castle was built by hand by one man. His name is Sir Harry Andrews.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the castle always being monitored?
There's always somebody here to guard our castle.
What did Sir Harry look like?
He was a tall, distinguished gentleman with a graying beard.
Did he live alone?
He had many women propose to him, but they just wanted to live in a castle.
Oh, I have one more question. Did he have any pets?
Yeah, like, I don't know, lizards or maybe frogs?
He didn't have time for pets. Lizards or frogs don't make good pets. Can we continue on with the tour? Down this way is the armor room.
Man, this tour guy, he reminds me so much of the Rococo style Unarians.
Of the Rococo style that embellished the building.
He didn't have time for pets. Lizards and frogs don't make good pets.
He made a luscious castle. I ask you, Drea, would you go after a guy because he had a castle?
Oh, man, that's really tempting. No, because castles are cold.
I don't know,
Sorry.
man.
I don't
What
want
about
to live
you,
in a
Rob?
castle.
Would I go after a guy if he had a castle?
I mean, whatever.
Hell yeah.
A frogman.
We know you
yeah,
would, yeah.
Yeah, well, usually that's a red flag. I think a castle. The only castle that I can really think of, there's a guy who has a castle near me, that like near where I live. There's not a lot of castles around here. There's one
I was
castle.
gonna say, if you go to
White
Ohio,
Castle.
I mean, this guy might still be there.
Apparently, well, this guy's kooky who owns the castle here. So I just imagine that whoever built that castle had to be a little like, who builds a castle in the middle
That
of
makes
Ohio?
sense. People who are into castles that much to own one, probably a little weird.
It's a bit eccentric. Like, who are you
Some
trying to
medieval
to
stuff going
impress
on?
here?
Maybe someone did get turned into a frog, and there's
Just
a
a red
wand.
flag.
I mean, more power to
there's
you.
Not a black flag.
castle.
You can afford it, do your thing, build your castle. But I'm
But
just
think
saying,
about it,
it's a little
castles,
crazy.
frogs with wands. It sounds very fairy tale-ish, weirdly coming over to the real life kind of thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well,
Frog
like castles have dungeons in them and that kind of stuff. So that
Yeah,
know,
that's-
hell, okay,
this
now
is
now I'm
actually-
being convinced. Yeah.
This is when our intrepid teens, they sneak away from the group and they enter this restricted basement, the dungeon, where they sense a strange presence. And before they can figure out what it is, that tour guy, the Rococo guy, he catches them and he kicks them out. So they just go like teens, they mill around the castle. And for some reason, they brought Alice, the main character, her little sister is with them. She's maybe 9 or 10 years old. And while they're
That's a good
milling
idea.
around, the young girl wanders off and ends up falling in the river, where she is rescued by one of the frogmen, who actually seems nice. And I almost expected when this happened, I expected her leg would be all messed up like Darwin Johnson, but no. After they regroup from the girl almost drowning, the other teens are done with frogman hunting. They just leave Alice, they leave her little sister, and one of the bro guys is the only people left. So they wait until really late at night, and so they return to the fire pit where that scary old man was, and here he is greeting them.
Hey, come out of the bushes. I know you're there. Ah, you kids again? Thought I told you not to come back.
Please, sir, we want to know about the Frogmen.
That's what this is all about? There ain't no frogmen.
Well, what about at the fire ring? I saw a bunch of frogmen at the fire ring. I saw them.
You ain't the first people to come down here looking for them frogmen. And the crazy college kids pretending to be pagans, holding their rituals. I chased them out, too.
Well, what about when Anna fell in the water and something pushed her out, something frog-like?
Yes, fish in the river. Crazy girl. Serves her right. Should have been more careful. Hey, Missy, you one of them pagans?
No, I'm not pagan.
Oh, you're as crazy as they are. Frogmen. I never heard something so ridiculous.
We came down to the castle.
Yeah, I'm not sure where pagans fit into this story, but so this old kook, he again dismisses that there is any frogmen at all, even though they've sighted him twice. The young girl drowned, was saved by the frogman, and so this guy has some kind of connection. He camps outside that castle. He just seems like a bum. It's a very strange story.
Very territorial bum.
Is the frogman like Jaws? Is that what that is? That's going on in the background? That little score that they have?
And it gets so confusing right at this point too. With the music starts to drown out the dialogue.
It does. Yeah. The audios. I will say this: that was it for the audio in this, and yes, very well done for these high schoolers. A short film, but the ending is a real twist because while Alice is still talking to that old guy, the audio kind of drowns out, and the little sister, she sees a green light on the castle. And the old man notices that she sees it, and he winks at her. Then she smiles. She's smiling back at the man yelling at them, and he winks back. They're winking at each other. And at this point, he kind of kicks them out again. But him and the young girl have some connection. So they all get back in the canoe. The old man stays on the shore. And Drea, will you describe the ending of this thing?
Oh my God. It's the weirdest, like, semi-creepy, like where like the little girl looks creepy too, and she turns over her shoulder to look back at the old man on the shore, and then that guy is like looking creepy but not as creepy. Then another just like knowing smile, and it made me so uncomfortable, even though you can kind of piece it together at this point what's happened. But she tried to tap her sister Alice and to be like, hey, look back at the guy. But she didn't, so...
What did she see, though? What did she actually see?
You're burying the lead. Then the guy snaps his tongue out and catches a bug like a frog.
That was actually very good. The special effect that they used for that.
That
I thought it was actually really good for that. That was the one thing through the whole movie I was like, that was actually pretty decent. I like that.
I don't know. I like the green clean lights.
That guy was the Frogman. That's all. And
yeah, I
and
fucking called it too.
Play soundboard 5 because I thought that old guy kind of sounded very Kermit. So play it.
I know you're there. Oh, you kids again?
That was some
God.
subtle foreshadowing for these teens that you wrote off at the beginning, Rob. They play it again. Tell me he wasn't giving a little hint that he was the Frogman.
I know you're there. Oh, you kids again?
I had something like I had kind of picked up on, but didn't like in the beginning part. I'm like, well, this guy's voice is like dumb, but I was really enjoying his inflection and how quick his sentences were mashed together. But then towards the end, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I know what's happening here.
You realize why something's a little off with this guy? Yeah, Rob. I know it was a real Shyamalan ending for you. I know you. Really
oh my god,
enjoyed it.
I didn't see that one coming. The special effects are so back and forth in this one because there's another scene when they show the castle and the moon is there. It's a full moon, but there's a square around the moon. Like it looked like it wasn't there. You couldn't have the moon in the picture, so they just like took literally a square picture of the moon and they pasted it right in there.
If you're gonna nitpick things, okay, fine. But this guy had a CG tongue come out and slap
That was
a bug.
good.
That one, it
That was
happened
very
fast
good.
enough that it did look pretty good.
They saved their
my
money
TV
for
was.
that.
Yeah, my TV was dark enough that I couldn't see the square around the moon. But did you guys
me
stick
neither.
around?
I
past the
didn't
credits?
notice that. Oh, look, I'm watching what's up front.
I was paying attention to
creepy.
everything.
Dan got a little creepy, and then they took it all back by saying this old man is a weird. And the little girl's supposed to be fine with that. That the Frogman is this old man who lives in the woods and is winking at her.
That's the thing. Kids don't know when things are like that creepy. They're just like, oh, I get it. This is a game. Like she's not smart enough to be like, no, this is really fucking
castle.
weird. And didn't tell her
prince.
sister like, hey, I think he's the frog guy because he was like, shh. Don't
yeah, like
tell
no,
nobody.
you got listen to me. This dude's a fucking frog back here. His tongue just came out of his mouth and grabbed the fly.
Yeah,
like,
and she knew that's what her sister was like trying to find out, and you're gonna keep that shit from her.
Yeah, and she just goes to sleep. I'm pretty sure they're like,
yeah.
Is she okay? She went to sleep. She instantly
He
just goes
saved
to
her.
sleep.
They have a connection. He's a frogman that saved her, so maybe he's a nice frogman.
That's the weird part, man, because they say frogmen, right? Like plural. The image, like in the scene where she's being saved by a frogman. Didn't look like that dude at all. Looked like a
I did
girl.
expect more. I expected it to be like the story with the 3 frogmen and the wand and all that, because he called this the Frogmen. They just had one.
This felt like
always
a pilot.
get let down.
It felt like a pilot for a show. Like this was like how
okay.
it all
If this was a
started.
pilot, would you then watch the rest of the
might.
show?
I mean, honestly, it'd
be
I
best
might
if
watch
it
the
was a
second
prequel.
episode.
If
Also,
it was a
quick
prequel
question.
at this point, this was made 10 years ago. Yeah, what is it, Draft?
Did you guys stick through the credits?
I gotta admit, I did not make it all the way to the end.
Man, then you missed the better. It was actually it was worse.
Scene?
It was worse than the tongue flicking out. But the guy goes back to the old guy on the edge of the river, and he like sits down, kind of like frog style, where like his knees
I
are
have to
up.
watch this now. Yeah.
And then he like rivets, and his throat goes out and everything.
No way!
No
Yes.
way!
I can't believe you guys didn't see
Should
that.
we all watch it? Should we watch it right now?
No.
We can do it on the live stream.
That's
How
a
about
fun
that?
thing. We'll watch these on the stream when next time we're on there. Go find this thing. It's the Loveland Frogman, the Legend of the Loveland Frogman 3-parter.
And stay
It's
for
very
the
short.
post-credit scene. This is like a Marvel movie. You need to stay for the post-credit scene.
There you go. And that's it for the Loveland Frogman. A fun story from an interesting little town that happens to have a castle. Any final thoughts, Drea?
I tend to believe people who have seen something weird when they describe it's not. Like, it wasn't a person. It wasn't just a big frog. I know there's got to be something out there, and it probably was created by some weird, like, high fructose corn syrup spill in the river.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it's aliens. What about you, Rob?
I don't know. I think it's cool that there could be a frogman, but I know that some frogs get really big, and I could see in the right light, the right perspective, you can mistake it and think that it's even bigger than what it appears to be. But I love the stories. I think we just I want to learn even more about this frogman, to be honest, because I find him kind of intriguing.
Yeah. So, and what should the poll be this week? What's your favorite man? Is it Frogman, Wildman?
Who is the most believable
Dogman,
witness of all, like,
or
Mr. Honeycutt or Honeycomb?
Mr. Honeycutt, Mr. Honeycomb,
Honey
Mr.
Lover.
Honeywell.
We'll have something up there. Go to unbelieverspodcast.com. Go answer that poll, and let's get out of here. Wesley Willis get us out of there. Frogman, what's he up to? I don't know.
Oh, Ribbit. I love it, man. I love it.
That's my least favorite part, is seeing the throat kind of just expand into a bubble. Like, that's always
all right.
made me
We're gonna go watch it. We saw. Oh
no, I'm talking about frogs in general.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, though. Now, now as soon as you said it, I'm picturing that guy again.
I had a friend growing up who loved frogs, and we used to go like catch frogs.
I was always scared to touch it, man. Everyone will tell you you get warts and stuff. I'm trying not to mess with them. I might put them like under a cup. First of all,
that's toads.
That's unbelievable. I don't know about that. I don't know.
There were more
about that.
toads around where I grew up.
Yeah,
I do actually work next to the city that is called Frog City. It's like the frog capital. They have a frog festival. They're a frog capital of the United States. Rain.
Oh, wow.
Shout out Rain. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a neighborhood in LA called Frogtown.
Do they eat frogs?
You want a little history,
area.
Rob? You want me to jump a little history on you?
Yeah, hit me.
This
Some
city,
frog history.
There's so many frogs out there that when there were French settlers down here, they would take all those frogs and send them to France, and they bred them and stuff out here. And there's just frogs everywhere when they breed, like little frogs just in that little city. Rain. I don't live there. I work at close by there. And frogs everywhere. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, they have
Oh
size.
god! Then you have to like drive over them and like.
I try not to. Turtles are more of a problem there. Frogs don't really go on the road. I've
been in a car where we ran over a toad once, and like I wouldn't have known if they hadn't been pointed out. You don't even feel the bump; they just go splat.
It's
really sad.
Recipes. It reminds me of the Muppets when you were just talking about how
and the Muppets.
They did you ever see the movie? They was all about they were trying to get the legs, sell the legs.
No, I did not.
That's what the city was based on. Was selling the.
It's based on the
frogs.
Muppets.
They had like a McDonald's,
but
it was frog
on
legs.
City, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
I've heard frog legs are delicious, but I've never tried them.
Well, yeah, let's get out of this now. Let's go to everyone. Let's just wrap this up. Let's get to everyone's third favorite segment, all right? Let's go to Unbeliever News. Haven't heard that one in a while. Yes, Unbeliever News is a segment where we talk about news in the world of the unbelievers. And this week we'll be discussing Raymond Roel and us. This is a little more. We will be talking about something that just came out, something involving Unbeliever Raymond and us, a project that we've been collaborating on for a long time, and we are very happy to finally roll out. He made, and him and Unbeliever Andrea here, I'm calling you Unbeliever Drea because this is Unbeliever News.
Who is that? She sounds
We have
dumb.
to refer to each other. Yeah, I'll be Unbeliever Russ here. We're Unbeliever News. We have to go in this. You two got together and worked on a set of tarot cards for the Unbelievers and Unbelievable podcast. You want to tell us about these?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, don't, cut yourselves guys short because you guys get some credit. You guys helped for the input. We knew it was going to be a huge undertaking. I mean, an intimidating project because the whole...
A tarot card set is very intricate.
Huge.
I'm sure a lot of people can see it.
There's
the
70
artwork
plus
involved...
cards all together. But so what we decided to do for now is just do the major arcana, which is the major face cards like, the sun, the moon, the lovers, the devil, all that stuff, as opposed to
I'm looking at these.
Four of
when you're
swords
talking about
and
when you're talking about the lovers card, you have David Huggins and Crescent and a mantis, and these cards are just highly detailed tarot cards, all about this show and Unbelievable podcast. The Hierophant is Art Bell. There is a wrinkly aliens card, the Tower. You've got a Travis Walton card. I'm looking at these. I have these. These are amazing. It's an amazing tarot card set. Dreo, you read too. You would use these for sure, right?
I would, and that's the thing too, that this is part of why I was so intimidated to make these, is that you see a lot of tarot sets kind of being made, a lot of it's all divination as far as like the imagery and intuition and what the image makes you feel, but I wanted to make it as accurate as possible to what each card is supposed to represent, so getting certain elements, certain visual aspects into each card was really important, so a lot of thought went into these. As far as like what things stand for in them.
And looking next, I mean, there's a Rob Oakey card, the magician.
God. Oh God. Yeah, holding up a microphone. It's pretty cool. It's actually really
cool.
all of these follow, yes, the all the symbolism and art needed in a tarot set. There's a Brian Frangie card. So I don't want to make this just a giant infomercial, but I'm really proud of these. I think Unbeliever Raymond did a great job. I think you did a great job.
I mean, just super hats off to him. This was all his idea. I never would have embarked on this if it weren't for him.
It was, and we're happy. And you're at the edge of your seats. Like, what are they? How can I get my hands on these? We've talked about these to the patrons already, but they are available for purchase at unbelievablepodcards.com. If you were a listener of the old show, you might remember that. You could buy magic cards of the Unbelievable Podcast there. That's my website. I've owned that one for years. So I've dusted it off, and now this brand new, awesome tarot card set is available there. It's not cheap, I will say that. It's a 23 card set. You get 22, you get a 1 bonus, which is me, the King of Rods card, which is amazing.
Which is kind of a little like a hint at, like, if we do end up doing the minor arcana, that's the King of Swords is the King of Rods there.
Yes.
They are customized. They are like unbelieverized, some of them.
And I have to say, the price point I think is actually pretty fair. You can find the classic Rider-Waite tarot card set for anywhere from $15 to $20. Maybe if you're lucky
right
to
in
find
that.
it
Well,
cheaper, but this is really
these are
good.
right in that pocket. And man, it's a custom set of just Unbelievers tarot cards,
full size too. We're not
full
talking
size. No, they're great.
Baseball
the quality,
cards. We're talking full size tarot cards, which is really cool.
These are they look amazing. It's $18.95 for these 23 cards. I know it's got a crazy high, but it's something we wanted to do, and we're sending some out to our patrons, and yeah, go check it out. You go to unbelievablepodcards.com and check it out.
And this is not like, we're not getting paid for this. This is just a passion project. We just really love.
Yeah, we don't see any profits from this.
This is not a profit thing for us where we're like, buy our cards or buy our t-shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
This is literally something.
It's tarot money.
Love.
Now we're rolling in the tarot money.
The money's going into the universe is what it's doing.
Yeah, it's not that though, just in case anybody was wondering.
We make nothing off this. It's more just a cool thing. Hey, the holidays are coming up. Somebody's like, what do you want? You're like, I don't know. Here's a link. Go buy these crazy tarot cards from me. And then boom, you got them. You're like, oh, look at this. Rob with a microphone and a card I can hang on. I got a Drea card.
You should.
Or they just make a cool art piece on the wall. If you hang them up nice, it's the artwork. True. I can't stress how cool and detailed the artwork is on every single card. How much work Raymond put into this thing, and it's really cool. It's worth having a set just so you can see all the funny little details and all the little inside jokes. Lots of inside jokes from the show. So if you love the show, you will love these cards.
Definitely, I will say you can see a little squid head in the devil card. Of course, referencing lots of reference. Raymond knows all his references, so go check it out. And that's it. We'll start posting more. You'll see some images we'll be posting on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and stuff. And that's it for Unbeliever News. All right, now I can stop having I'm just not trying to sell things. All right, it's just a cool set. Go get it.
That's not what we do.
Let's get back to what we do, and that is, of course, everyone's favorite "Tell Us How It Is" segment, poll results. This week's poll, what are the mystery lights? And the choices were UFOs, jackrabbits with phosphorus, headlights, ghosts, and of course others. I'm going to ask you, Drea Mora, what do you think the Unbelievers said?
As much as I want it to be phosphorescent jackrabbits, I'm going to go with UFOs.
All right, what about you, Rob?
I want it to be phosphorus jackrabbit, so I'm going with phosphorus jackrabbit.
All right. Congratulations, Drea with 12.5% of the vote. UFOs.
Yeah.
Came out big. Everyone got some votes this week. It'll split. And, of course, there are others. What are the mystery lights? A mystery. You didn't sign off. What?
He's got a point. It's a really good point, actually.
It really is a mystery.
What are the mystery lights? My Egyptian electric boner snake, signed the Rococo style. Oh, beautiful.
Of the Rococo style that embellished the building.
All right, thank you, Rococo style. What are the mystery lights? Russell, the ball of light in the night sky was just a weather balloon trapped in the thermal pocket, reflecting light from Uranus. Signed Outlaw. Oh, where's it reflecting from?
You can be destructively violent, but part of that's for effect, says Uranus.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Outlaw. What are the mystery lights? That's just strobe lights. I like to party when I'm filling up them bowls. Signed.
Damn it.
Unbeliever Rick. Rick coming out on this one, getting in a bowl early.
We went to this room. There was this bowl on this table, and I was supposed to ejaculate into the bowl.
All right, thank you, Unbeliever Rick. What are the mystery lights? The Brown Mountain sounds like shit. Yes. Thank you, K Mill. Thank you, K Mill, for coming. Podcaster K Mill coming in with this great singer. I love it. That's all right. What are the mystery lights? Nothing but ass cheek slapping that ass. Fuck a jackrabbit. Diane, it's fine. We're coming over. What happened?
Whoa.
Signed Unbeliever Carol. Getting that ass cheek slapping back in there, but what?
Poor his ass stuck out. I seen his ass.
All right, but
Okay, Diane, that's fine. We're coming over.
the classic, and of course.
What happened?
All right, thank you again so much, Unbeliever Carol. That was a great one. What are the mystery lights? Hey, y'all, it's me and Mystery Lights. I'm in heaven. and when you see me, I'm just saying hi. Signed, Mystery Lights. Oh, thank you so much, Mystery Lights, for chiming in. We got this. Ow! That's one of the best ones I've ever read. What are the mystery lights? It's the one brown-eyed monster from Uranus. Look at that brown mouth. Sign Jesus. Sign thanks, Green Finhawk.
Jesus.
You can be destructively violent, but part of that's for effect, says Uranus.
Yes.
I don't wanna. Look at that mouth. Brown mouth? No, thank you, Green Finhawk.
Look at that mouth.
What are the mystery lights? I think they come from Central Control, man. They're fucking aliens out there, and maybe they transmogrified into my burger tonight. Signed Blue Box UFO. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard about Central Control in a while.
This is Central Control. This is Central Control.
All right, he thinks that maybe...
I have transmognified it, if that's a word. You're the most delicious burger in the galaxy.
Thank you, Blue Box UFO. What are the mystery lights? Radioactive Man's power source is in his anus. You didn't toot, did you? Signed Voodoo. Okay. That's an interesting theory. I haven't heard that one in a while either.
We know that radioactivity settles in the anus.
Yeah, that's a long one.
Man, it's been a while since we've heard that one.
And after that, but...
You didn't toot, did you?
No.
Did you smell it?
It's Halloween, y'all. I'm coming back.
Time.
What are the mystery lights? Headlights. Oh, and you didn't sign off either.
Oh, okay.
What are the mystery lights? I've been trying to take my wife to Brown Mountain, but she says that radioactivity settles there. What's going on?
Wow.
Wombat preservationist. Oh my God.
That's good.
We know that radioactivity settles in the anus.
We know.
This wasn't about mystery lights. Suddenly,
No,
all the
be
Uranus, the radioactive anus is. What triggered you guys?
It's Brown Mountain.
100%.
Brown Mountain. All right.
Yeah.
Nothing about Marfa. Not a word about Marfa.
No,
It's all Brown. Okay, I got it.
No. Oh.
All right, got it. What are the mystery lights? Jesse, I had this bowl, but my ejaculate was too strong for my bowl, so now I have to ejaculate into your bowl. So Jesus, Harley Warren.
Jeez, this is a bowl fest. Let's give him the other bowl first.
Yeah.
Do you have any bowls?
Yes, we do.
Forgo.
We do. And
Thank you, Harley.
The classic.
No, don't give him
do
more.
It.
Give him more.
We went to this room. There was this bowl on this table, and I was supposed to ejaculate into the bowl.
Is that whole story going now? I don't like it. I love the cards, though. What are the mystery lights? I don't know, but one thing's for sure, they are not Bigfoot. Signed Corrupted Mask. Yeah, of course not.
Yeah,
we never claimed they were. And
Don't
we're
think
sticking
that
to
they
that.
would be.
Thank you, Violet and Mask. What are the mystery lights? This is no mystery if you pay me. I'll personally come to your house and kick your ass. Signed, Jay-Z Wright, a.k.a. Huckleberry Hustler.
Nice.
Oh, watch out, cuz.
I will personally come to your house and kick your ass.
That's right,
Kick your
Huckleberry
ass.
Hustler. Thank you. What are the mystery lights? I'm no sheep man, but I can pick up a sheep and toss him in that hole. P.P. Warren whistle. Signed Boner Yogurt. Oh no! I forgot about that. So he's gonna toss him in the hole and.
I'm not no sheep guy, but I could pick up a sheep.
Oh, all right, but he wants a new noise. He wants to hear. Thank you, Boner Yogurt. There he goes.
Should we give him the hole too? Does he deserve the hole? I think he deserves the hole.
All right,
about that hole.
Thank you, Boner Yoger. Great one. So many good ones this week. What are the mystery lights? We'll never know. They kind of like to be like a secret. Signed a Mando called Ho. Maybe host, maybe just cut off. It didn't.
Use a hoe.
He wants to be a Mando called Ho. But let's hear it.
You know, they like to be kind of like a secret.
Thank you so much, a Mando called Ho.
Thanks, Manho.
Come on. What are the mystery lights? We don't know. That's why it's called a mystery. Signed Mothman Mother. Hey, someone signed off and said that, and they were right because we don't know. And finally, the Brown Mountain in my trousers. Signed Pants Filler. All right.
Be throwing up and filling my pants.
Coming strong at the end.
But he's wearing his trousers, right? So we got to give him the
torn trousers.
The trousers, inside of these trousers.
Oh, wow, there's a lot of trousers. Too much trousers.
You forgot how many trousers are in that clip.
Forgot it was a trouser fest.
All right. Well, yeah, more people just write Trouser Fest. You know what's going with that. But there's so many this week. Let's see who's going to take this. We had a Rococo style with my Egyptian electric boner snake. We had Outlaw with Russell. The ball of light in the night sky was just a weather balloon trapped in the thermal pocket, reflecting light from Uranus. We had Unbeliever Rick with that's just strobe lights. I like to party when I'm filling up them bowls. We had K Mill with the Brown Mountain sounds like shit. You had Unbeliever Carol with nothing but ass cheek slapping that ass, fuck a jackrabbit. Diane is fine, we're coming over. What will happen? We had Mystery Lights with, hey y'all, it's me, the Mystery Lights. I'm in heaven. And when you see me, I'm just saying hi. You get Green Finhawk with, it's the one brown-eyed monster from Uranus. Look at that brown mouth. You had Blue Box UFO. I think they came from Central Control, man. They're fucking aliens out there, and maybe they transmogrified into my burger tonight. You had Voodooed with a radioactive man's power source is in his anus. You didn't too, did you? You had all Wombat Preservationists. I've been trying to take my wife to Brown Mountain, but she says there's radioactivity settles there. You had Harley Warren with some filth. You had Corrupted Mask with, I don't know, but one thing's for sure, they are not Bigfoot. You had Huckleberry Huckster, a.k.a. Jay-Z Wright with, there's no mystery. If you pay me, I'll personally come to your house and kick your ass. You had Boner Yogurt with, I'm not a sheep man, but I could pick up a sheep and toss him in that hole. PP Whistle. Amanda Call Host, we'll never know. That kind of be kind of like a secret. You had, I don't know, I have so much trouble with that. We have Mothman Mother with, we don't know. That's why it's called a mystery. And of course, Pants Filler, the Brown Mountain in my trousers. Drea Mora, who do you like this week?
Hey y'all, it's me, the Mystery Lights. I'm in heaven.
All right,
so good.
What about you, Rob?
I like the guy who's trying to convince his wife to go to Brown Mountain, but that's where radioactivity settles at the anus. I think that was pretty good.
All right, congratulations in a Brown Mountain landslide. Mystery Lights. Hey y'all, it's me, the Mystery Lights. I'm in heaven, and when you see me, I'm just saying hi. Congratulations, Mystery Lights. You just won this week's poll results. All right, we come to the end of the program. Before we do, Drea Mora, you look like you have something you want to say or plug.
I do. We revamped the whole shop, guys, because before we were at cafepress.com/Unbelievers podcast. You can still get things like shot glasses and drinking glasses and flasks there, but you want to head over to maybe tpublic.com. We're over there now. You can find a link on our Instagram, but you can't really search for us. Just want to let you know, I've tried it ourselves, but
we're
brand
working
new
on that.
shit.
You can unlearn everything about Cafe Press, but our TeePublic
Don't
store,
unlearn it.
there's some stuff there, but this TeePublic site, man, you've got a lot of cool stuff up there. There's weird designs. There's some weird portrait of me Raymond made as a shirt.
So good.
That's a big thing too, Russ, is that on Cafe Press, you can get that as a shower curtain. Can't do that on TeePublic.
Oh man, I don't.
There's pros and cons. There's cool stuff on both of them though. Like there's phone cases on the new thing, which I don't think we had before. Which
laptop
cases, which is really cool.
You can still do any kind of t-shirt you want. Way more options as far as colors and like fabric style that you even like.
The masks.
Just go check it out.
The masks are so cool. Like if you need to wear a mask right now, you might as well wear an Unbelievers mask, right? Pretty cool.
Well. There's lots of really cool stuff up on there. What about you, Rob? Anything you want to plug?
Just check out my other podcasts at Baby Yoda's Escape Pod, at Baby Yoda Pod. Check out my Instagram at Rob Oki, at Oki Audio. And yeah, check out our Patreon, Twitch, all that stuff. Twitch.tv/The Unbelievers Podcast.
Yeah, check it out and go check out those tarot cards, man. We're gonna start posting about them more. Unbelievablepodcards.com. We'll lead you there. There's 3 sets of cards there, but you'll see the tarot cards down there. There's even the old Unbelievable podcast cards. They're all still there.
Collect them
They're
all.
waiting for you.
All worth it.
The Unbelievers podcast hosts today were Drea Mora and me, Russ Ryan. Our producer and soundboard engineer is Rob Oki. Go get those tarot cards at unbelievablepodcards.com. You can join our Patreon by going to patreon.com/unbelieverspodcast. You can follow us on Twitter at UnbelieversPod and Instagram at Unbelievers Podcast. Our Facebook group is the Unbelievable Podcast Network. Check out our merch store at TeePublic. There's a link there. And thank you so much to our patrons, David Egelhoff, Pamsy, JG Spranklin, Vic Voss, Little BP, Dr. Ortega, Tyler Ventura, Adam Dvorak, Corrupted Mask, Michael Phillips, Weird Exile, Carol Valley, Manny MQ Ultra, CJP, Braden Hitt, Raymond Noel, Todd X, Christopher Panici, The Moon, The Judgy Moon, Mike Henry, Bryce Whopper Sr., Dawn Bright, Shannon Ferrigno, Tom O'Connell, Mark Braun, Donna Bance, Jenna Stevens, Cat Chaos, Jason Kelly, Mike, Brian Ashton, Michael Armenta, Jackass, Wombat Preservationist. Our official composer and theme song creator is Unbeliever Aaron, a.k.a. Aaron Chilb. Follow him on Instagram at @TheAaronChilb. Our official graphic designer and card maker who's got these crazy tarot cards is Unbeliever Raymond Rowell. Go follow Project Raven Creative on Twitter and Project Raven Creative on Instagram. Our official Hawaii Bigfoot hunter is Green Finhawk. Our official resident Sagittarius is Cisco Xanton. Our official madman is Unbeliever Adam. Our official Mothman enthusiast is Michael Shields. Our official Unbelievers Move On Inside Man is Christe Moraes. Our official Unbeliever peacefully eating a hamburger is Michelle Durham. Our official Unbelievers Time Traveler is Taylor Nelson. Our official Ghost Hunter is Amelia Childs. Congratulations, Amelia. Just got engaged. Very happy for you.
Yes.
Ghost hunting in New England. Hear all about it. Our official senior European correspondent is K Mill of the I Don't Know podcast. He's been married forever. Who cares? Our official guardian of the bench is that Kraken Stacker. Our official alien bopper is Nunchuck Bob. And this week's Unbeliever Focus is Eric Larson, who has his own local cryptid called Snake Man. I couldn't believe this. Frogman, now Snake Man? I was skeptical at first, but he assured me.
It's on the internet, so it must be true.
Good night, Ribbit.
Rock over London, rock on Chicago, Arby's, different is good. Rock Saddam Hussein's ass. Oh, yeah. Oh, rock everything is good.
Discontinue. Discontinue.